Well, we're really talking about two things. One is
Sure.
receiving calls, and the
Yes.
other is making calls. So let's focus on, I'm a real estate photographer. I shoot
Yeah.
virtual tours. I've just heard of this OWL app. I go to WGAN.info/OWL, OWWLL. I use the referral code WGAN. I'm in the app. I see people are live, and
Yep.
I select one and I call. What is it that I say to that person? How do I know? How do I begin a know, like, and trust relationship?
That's a
Again,
great
it just
question.
feels like dialing for dollars, and I know that's not what this is. So, what are the best practices when you are making outbound calls? We know the photographer is interested in developing business. I imagine the first thing the photographer says is not, "Hi, I'm calling to see if you'd like to buy a virtual tour." So how do you use the OWL to successfully do these one-on-one networkings that may lead to business?
Well, that's a great question, because when you go to a networking event, really the first thing someone does, hands you their business card, you size them up, based on what they're wearing, and you have to, have icebreaker questions to get to know someone. But OWL makes it easier because we list all their social media handles on their profile. So that individual can list different questions that are most commonly asked to them as an expert. So we looked at those 4 profiles while you were on the call with each individual, and we saw how Mike listed it. He listed, I have over 50,000, connections on LinkedIn. I run a company that has approximately a $200 million valuation. Feel free to call me about, hiring and firing, techniques, because he's gone through so many challenges operating a business of that scale. He also works with the Special Olympics. So immediately, if the Special Olympics hit home to you, you could call Mike and really just have a natural conversation about the Special Olympics or any other questions that he lists. So the best practices are really that you list common questions that people would ask. So that way, you don't have to just
we're not up to
randomly.
that part yet because we're making calls. So
Yes.
I promise to get there. So what I'm hearing is, if I'm a virtual tour photographer, I've joined the OWL app, I'm
Yep.
ready to make my first call. Before I make that call, look at that profile, read their LinkedIn profile, their Twitter, their Facebook, whatever social media that they list, their Instagram. Then read the profile that's in OWL, because
Correct.
many OWL people list even suggested questions to begin a conversation with them.
Correct. When we look at platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram, sometimes it's hard to get to know the individual because they keep you within those platforms. But OWL, we let people list all their social media handles, up to 4, including a website. So people can click your profile and immediately get to know you as an individual, as a business owner, as an expert, or you could even watch the video like we did with Kelly, where Kelly rarely referenced exactly, what to expect on a phone call. So the beautiful thing about OWL is we don't hide other platforms, on our profiles. We allow them, so that way you could get to know the individual.